My problem with gimbals has always been it takes too long to balance it. The battery lasts 5 minutes, it doesn't point where you want it to, and you can never see what you're shooting. That was my experience, so generally I only used it for specialist projects. However, I've been using the ZHIYUN Weebill 2 for the last month, and my experience has been the complete reverse. I've taken it to events, trade shows, from London to New York, and after receiving it from Wedio, it has now become an important part of my workflow. So why has shooting on the Weebill 2 been such a positive experience? Let's go through some of the key features which you should look out for when hiring or buying this gimbal. The best part about this gimbal is how quickly it takes to get up and running. Its auto calibration is very strong, straight out of the bag, and it's ready to go in minutes. The lock settings on the side mean you don't lose the calibration settings you've made, and you can put it safely back in your bag, ready to take it back out when needed. I also can't get over how smooth the footage is. I've hardly ever experienced any jittery moments, and the only time I did was when I put a lens on it that was too heavy. The smoothness is very precise, and you can't see any signs of wobbly or jittery gimbal footage. Normally, I would have to add a level of post-production stabilization to the finished footage, but in this case, I've never had to. The control wheel on the side is not a gimmick. The gimbal comes with every variation of cables, so you can connect your camera to the gimbal, which I appreciate because I'm always hunting down random cables to connect to other accessories. To include everything is a real bonus. Once you do connect your camera to the gimbal, the control wheel can be used to change the aperture, the ISO, the shutter speed, but most importantly, to pull the focus. It's a tough follow focus wheel as well, so it really feels like you can be precise with the focus. I also love it for this cool feature. You can set the control wheel to control the Y-axis tilt, which you can use to create some very awesome effects, such as this. I've taken this to events and used it literally all day and not once had to worry about the battery life. It doesn't stop, and I can verify ZHIYUN's claims that it can do up to 9 hours of shooting. So in terms of usage on a day's shoot, it's very reliable. I love the touchscreen. Its menu is very quick and simple to use, and for me, it's always out and ready to go. It can be used as a monitor, but sadly, I don't have a camera that is compatible with this. I do, however, appreciate that for someone who does have the right camera, this would be very useful. The camera equipment I've used on it are the Canon 6D with the 24-70mm lens, which is a heavy lens, and the BlackMagic Pocket 4K with a 14mm micro four thirds pancake lens. I was really impressed with how it handled the weight of the 24-70, but unfortunately this lens paired with the BlackMagic Pocket 4K tips the edge on the Payload, which is 7.6 pounds. It is handy that years ago I invested in a few super lightweight MFT lenses for the exact reason of having lightweight camera equipment. And that paired with the Weebill's follow focus control has been a great combination. It also has a second trigger on the side, which paired with my Canon or BlackMagic does start and stop recording and activate autofocus. I'm not normally the kind of user to get excited about a bag, but the bag it comes with is great. It's a really handy bag. It reminds me of the bag Joey wears in Friends. It's very useful. It has a load of hidden compartments and areas for storage, and it does look like a normal bag. It doesn't telegraph expensive camera equipment, which is good if you're walking around cities with it, as I was last month. This gimbal is going to be great for events, great for vloggers. There is a quick command on the gimbal which flips the camera into a selfie mode, and if you're a vlogger, that's going to be super useful. It's especially good as a piece of kit to take with you when traveling or needing to be lightweight. I took this with me shooting around the UK, I took it with me to New York, I literally walked around the city with it in a backpack, so it's perfect if you're that kind of shooter. Due to its payload, however, any big powerful lenses or even my normal setup on my BlackMagic 6K Pro is going to be too heavy for this gimbal. So unfortunately, that rules the Weebill 2 out of the narrative and music video shoots that I normally do. When it comes to camera equipment, for me it needs to be quick to set up, have a long battery life and be reliable. I need to trust that when I shoot on it, I'm going to be happy with the results, and the Weebill 2 ticks all of those boxes. Don't get addicted to the brands. This gimbal is as strong as any other of the gimbal brands I've shot on, and this has been my favourite to work on. So for me, it's a big thumbs up on this camera equipment. Thanks Wedio for giving me the chance to review this gimbal, and I'll see you next time.